Previously on MetaZoo!
A man from the shadows. It's almost time. Wouldn't you agree, old friend? Spilling from eyes were two heavy shadows extending to the road and outward into the sky like two colossal wings. So much happened on this page.
So much happened.
A catastrophe in Point Pleasant. And all that was seen was the appearance of the cryptid codenamed Mothman. And this was the case on this particular Saturday morning at 10:04 a.m. when the veil that was put into place over 1,000 years ago finally shattered. Look at that satellite.
I'll say it again. Who put the veil in place? I must know.
And now, on MetaZoo. Little intense.
It was good. It was
Okay,
good.
cool.
We're getting intense.
The middle school's bleachers were littered with them. While wanted signs were somewhat antiquated method of informing the general public about a threat, Point Pleasant was still small enough town to warrant the extra measure. The figure on the signs was more shadow than man, but no one had ever gotten a good look at his face. All that was known was that he had appeared in town at hours and places he should not have, and people were afraid. No one paid these posters any heed, though, at least not right at the moment. Baxter Middle High's Mothmen were currently in the middle of delivering physical punishment to the out-of-county dragons from Cumberland Middle School, and tensions were high. To many laymen, it appeared as though the Mothmen had risen in the national ranks for middle school baseball almost by magic. However, to those watching more closely, their recent fame could be explained entirely by the last-minute recruitment of two 8-year-olds, Sam Sinclair and Adam Arkham. Would you agree that that's Arkham?
I don't have my glasses.
Akram.
I don't have my glasses, so I can't see anything.
Adam Akram.
I'm blind.
In comparison to many of the other players, many 4 to 6 years older than them, Sam and Adam were special in a way that was difficult to put your finger on. Sam knew, however, just how and in which ways he and Adam were special. The two 8-year-olds had what Sam described to himself as intuitions. Because describing their abilities as powers sounded almost too cliché, even to his preteen sensibilities. These intuitions took separate but equally useful forms, and each aided their ability to dominate baseball in different ways. Sam's intuition gave him the ability to almost see the different directions the ball might take before it even took flight. The clearest direction was more often than not the direction it took. Adam's took the form of feeling how the opposing players were going to act. While possibly more potent, Adam's intuition was certainly more abstract and therefore difficult to use. But he had fine-tuned it to such a degree that he often did better on the field than Sam. These abilities and the mystery of their origin were often discussed between the two childhood friends, and they kept it as closely guarded a secret in the way only the innocent can. And they kept it a closely guarded secret in the way only the innocent can. Mm-hmm. For Adam and Sam to not only recognize their intuitions, but to also actively train and use them was apparently unprecedented. And use it they did. Sam had secured a lead in the previous inning with a home run that was, at this point, par for the course every time he stepped up to bat. And we will pick up the page on the next episode.
Well, we know Sam Sinclair can swing a bat. That's for sure. I feel like that's going to come into play at some point.
Yeah, so they're two little mutants, two little psychic freaks.
Yeah, totally.
They have powers.
They've got powers.
And they're inherently, they're not related. I didn't catch anything like that.
No,
They're just friends.
And they talk about their powers, but they don't tell anyone else.
They're intuitions.
Yeah.
So Sam is actually seeing the future.
Yeah, he almost has like premonitions or foresight, you know?
But only in like short lapses.
Right.
Like he can see like an onion skin framing of like time just
Yeah.
before it unfolds. Like,
Right.
and then he can get there before it
Right.
and crack the bat. And he's hitting home runs as an 8-year-old.
Or he can narrow it down mathematically in his head to the most likely is almost what it sounded like, because the most, what did they say? The most common was most likely where it would fly, or they had a way where he was basically saying that the most likely course was the one it usually took, or I know I'm not wording that right.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, he has these feelings. Well, actually, no. Adams took it in the form of a feeling.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Adams was a feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. So Adams more potent, his intuition abstract and therefore difficult to use, but he'd fine tune it to such a degree he often did better than Sam on the field. Well, okay, all right.
So Sam is almost like hyper logical in a way. He can predict things by narrowing down and calculating.
Okay.
Right. Whereas Adams seems to be abstract feelings.
Okay. He's going to be the guy who like closes his eyes and like, you know, grabs the fish out of the water or like blocks the kick.
Right.
Or like does the double windmill. Who am I talking about?
What, the double windmill?
I mean, come on. I just described like
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Are we doing Bloodsport?
Well, yeah, that's what we were doing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It's a.
Right. Now you guys know what it is, right? Now you know. Now it's so obvious. There. Now it is. When you really slow down and do the movement, that's when it really.
Okay. Keeps going.
All right.
He does it a couple times.